Hello, my name is Diego Orfin, and I'm currently a junior at the Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania. And for my U.S. foreign policy class, I wanted to go over the United States and Iran debacle that has been going on for quite some time now. First, I wanted to go over kind of the history of tension between the two countries, and then I wanted to talk specifically about the recent assassination that happened on the top military general of Iran named Qasem Soleimani and what kind of possible repercussions that might have for the United States. The history of tension between Iran and the United States can be most notably traced back to 1979 to 1981 when the U.S. Embassy hostage crisis occurred during the Carter administration. 52 U.S. citizens and diplomats were held for 444 days by Iranian students in Tehran. The Shah in power was supported by the United States, but not by the people. In retaliation, the Iranian people seized the embassy and held the hostages captive throughout the Iranian Revolution and then into the beginning of the Iraq-Iran War. It is safe to say relations were really never at ease. As time passed, the United States and Iran continued to be rivals who cautiously worked in conjunction. This was until the 2000s, when the United States encountered a devastating terrorist attack, most commonly regarded as 9/11. This terrible day caused an aggressive foreign policy shift aimed at exterminating foreign terrorist groups, most notably in the Middle East, and rooting out U.S. enemies who were developing nuclear weapons. In this era, George W. Bush denounced Iran as a state amongst the axis of evil, along with North Korea and Iraq. For the next decade, intrusive investigations occurred into the actions of Iran, and a completely negative byproduct caused Iranian currency to lose 2/3 of its value within a couple of years. In September 2013, Iran's new moderate president, elected only a month ago, Hassan Rouhani, spoke to President Obama on the phone. This might not seem like much, but it was the first time top officials from both countries have congregated in some 30-plus years. This was the perfect precursor for what would become the Iranian nuclear deal, known as the P5+1. This deal ascribed that Iran would limit its nuclear activity and allow foreign inspectors to investigate its nuclear facilities. In return, the crippling sanctions that have been put on Iran by multiple countries for more than a decade would see easing and eventually see lifting. As tensions seem to be lifting between these two long-winded rivals, unexpectedly, in May 2018, President Trump decided to back out of the P5+1. His message was the deal was, quote, rotten and decaying, unquote. Although, the facts don't align. International reports reveal that Iran was actually complying with the terms. They had dismembered a large portion of their nuclear program and were very much open to inspectors investigating the progress, along with complying with the multiple other terms that were presented. Although, there were a few issues with the original deal. There was no apparent evidence from Iran warranting a United States withdrawal. President Trump could have negotiated terms like President Macron from France urged, but instead, he implemented a unilateral withdrawal of the United States. After the United States pulled out of the P5+1, Iran was still sticking to the terms. That commitment was brought into question when President Trump ordered an unprecedented, unapproved drone strike on Qasem Soleimani. Qasem Soleimani was the second in command of Iran and the top military general for the state. This act of war was not communicated with Congress, nor was it urged by top intelligence officials. Regardless, President Trump approved the order killing the general on January 3rd, sparking widespread outrage in Iran. The country as a whole stood behind the message that there would be a severe revenge brought upon the United States. Although, it seems like the repercussions have been slated at a minimum. The only initial response was the botched missile launch on a commercial flight and a U.S. military base attack that was forewarned by Iranians. Months ahead have procured no retaliation from Iran. They have stockpiled some low-grade uranium, as reports show, but that is by no means reinstilling a nuclear program. It seems as though the country itself is not so far interested in developing nuclear weapons when considering the price tag attached to such an action. It is possible that the current outbreak of COVID-19 could be influencing the response, but Iran seems to be kept at bay. All things considered, the assassination of a ruthless top military general with minimal retaliation seems like the best possible scenario that could have resulted. As time moves forward, one can only hope that the tensions remain at bay, and the future of the United States can escape the grasp of Iranian revenge.